Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tuesday Night Live podcast from the range with your host, John G. Johnson. What's happening? How you guys doing this evening? Oh, another month has come and gone. We're almost out of this thing, man. I can't believe how fast time flies. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you don't know who I am, my name is John Johnson. I'm the owner and operator of a firearms training facility in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida. We're on the southwest side of Florida, between Naples and Tampa, and we specialize in you. We specialize in the first-time shooter. We specialize in getting you to the next level. All these lives we do on different topics, maybe a little bit of what we offer people, maybe some drills, some tips, some techniques. We do everything each week just to work with you guys as much as possible. Go ahead and comment if you're on the live for the very first time. We would love to hear from you. We would love to give you a big shout out, and we want to know who you are and where you're from. We've been generating a lot of people watching these lives after the fact. So this is a podcast from YouTube. Yeah, burpees today. I apologize. I had a Coke this afternoon. So the idea of this is just to reach out to you guys. We go about an hour long. We normally pick a topic or something. We've got a good one this week. Drills you need to know. This is going to be something that we've been putting together. We talked about the Master Handgun. We just finished another one. We got a new one starting May 5th here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Push the wrong button. Here is a little bit of a link. Hang on, sorry about that, guys. There's that. If you want to see that, May 5th is the next one starting. If you have the ability to get on one of these, you're going to improve your accuracy. You're going to make better decisions on shooting, and you're going to be able to a better shot in 5 short weeks. You know, a lot of people question, is it going to work or what it is? Well, here's a review from one of our customers that took the class. This is David, and David was out of Washington State.
What's up, guys? My name is David Navarro. I am one of the beta testers from the state of Washington. I believe I'm the furthest student from John. And let me just say, I was super hesitant when I first took the class, or before actually entering into it. I didn't know if this was a scam or not, but let me best believe this is not a scam, man. This is actually something legit. I had a lot of fun in this class. I had some prior firearm training, but John really polished me up. He made my accuracy, my precision so much better. His teachings really did take my skills to the next level, and I'm sure he will show you some of my targets. This actually is very important class, and I would recommend to anybody, despite distance. Many of us that are on the internet every single day, we're already getting training from different YouTubers and different forums out there, whether it be from Reddit or whatever, right? Asking for different drills and what's the perfect hand grip and everything else like that. The difference between that and this class is that this class, yes, it might be them online or whatever, but you are going to get it personalized to your targets. When you go to the range and you show John your target, he's going to tell you exactly what you did wrong and how. Believe me, it sounds almost like mystic. It almost is, really, but it really is something that has been incredibly helpful to my shooting life. I have a wife, I have a family, I need to protect them. I need to make sure that when I shoot from my finger, right, I shoot that trigger, that it is spot on and that I'm not going to hit anybody else. It is important to me, my safety, my defense, and this is what John is all about. John is to help you defend others, and this is why I recommend his class 100%. He is extremely friendly. He will work on your time, especially me as I was coaching. He helped me. I highly recommend. I hope you take his class.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Those were not paid testaments, guys. We asked for them. They gave it to us. So the masterclass is there for you. You want to take advantage of it, please do. If you want to get more information, you can always comment. We'll send you stuff as well. One more time with that QR code. The QR code, you just scan on that, takes you right to the link. Masterclass starts next Monday at 5 o'clock, which is May 5th at 5 o'clock. I mean, May 5th at 7 p.m. I apologize. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. All right, so let's do the Q&A of this week. Do Q&A of this week, and I bet you can't guess what it's about. It's always the same, really. They're always, this is from a day ago, 3 days ago, and this is from Marilyn Godfrey. I'm new to gun holding experience. I'm a new gun holder, experiencing shooting low and left. I'm left eye dominant and right handed. Having a problem. Your video is very informative. Thank you for your information. So let me give you one trick here, which we always tell everybody every time. You have a dominant eye on your face. You cannot have that weapon over anything but your dominant eye. So if you're right-handed and right-eye dominant, the weapon must be over your right eye. If you are right-handed, left-eye dominant, you must put the weapon over your left eye. Now, to help you out tremendously, always remember, if I'm running my weapon over my left eye, I need to move my chin to the left to marry the weapon and the eye together. And the more we marry the weapon and the eye together, the more accurate we're going to be. Now, does just having the weapon over your dominant eye cause the low and left? No, it doesn't. There's a lot of stuff that happens. You could be palming the back of the gun. You could be anticipating the recoil. You could be flinching or a lot of different stuff. But I would start with making sure the weapon's over my dominant eye and I'm using the tip of my finger to engage that trigger and make sure I don't pull the trigger. Because the moment I begin to pull a trigger, I'm pulling the weapon, which in turn is going to pull the bullet, if that makes sense. Thank you. Guys, if you have questions like this, you can always send it through our YouTube channel, or you can use our little thing we have here, which is, hang on a second, I'll tell you what it is. It is SpeakPipe. SpeakPipe.com is like a old-timey answer machine at your home. You put speakpipe.com/John the firearms instructor. You get 90 seconds to ask us a question, and then we will answer it at the following live we have, and we'll give you a shout out as well when you ask the question. So go to speakpipe.com, John the firearms instructor, and you'll be able to ask the question. It's pretty simple and easy. Just go on. You don't need to spend about more than the 90 seconds because it won't give you more than 90 seconds. It's 90 seconds, not a penny more. But once you've done that, then we can download it and hear it, and you can ask the question and we will respond. Whole reason for us to start this channel to begin with was to educate, motivate, and entertain. And I hope I do that each week. But ideally, what we're looking for is to support our community. You guys are on here each week for the community, for us to, the firearms training community. That's why I do most of the stuff we do is to make you a better shooter, make you more confident, make you outshoot your brother-in-law. You know, wouldn't that be great, right? You know, he never trains, he never does anything, but he always outshoots you. Not anymore once we get done with you guys. So I made a decision this week. I wanted to give you, let me get this off here, and let me go ahead and lay out these two. I wanted to give you handgun drills you must know. Train with a purpose and shoot with confidence. What I thought about is when I first started shooting, I just came to the range, used the target that they supplied, and I just shot. And I really didn't have a system or anything. Whole concept of the master class is to work on a true system. So every time you come to the range, you actually have a program or something you're working on to make you a better shooter. Go ahead and comment below if you can. When's the last time you shot a pistol? And how many rounds did you shoot? And were you happy with your results or were you unhappy with your results? That would be a great little topic for us to talk about this evening after this PowerPoint. And what I did is I've been lately, my YouTube channel has been focusing on laying out drills for my students. Not only for my students, but for anybody who goes to our YouTube channel. And I'm picking a firearms training drill. I'm not only doing that, but I'm giving you a free PDF target to receive with the drill so you can use the stuff I'm using. I shoot the drill first, kind of show you the concept. That's the neat thing about the YouTube channel now. A lot of people go to YouTube to learn an awful lot of stuff. I know I watch a lot of fishing stuff, and I know I watch a lot of other videos besides what I do in my industry. But I can tell you what, you can watch a video and you can watch it until you're blue in the face. But if you're not the type of person that can consume it that way, then it becomes a little more challenging. A lot of people can take a book, read it cover to cover, and they've got it. I'm not one of those, and a lot of people aren't. So that's why I put the Master Your Handgun class together, the course, because what it did for the students is when I took week one and I went through foundation, grip, stance, trigger control, sight picture, sight alignment, I showed them a video of each thing I said. So when I said proper grip, I'm showing them a video of proper grip. When I said proper stance, I showed them a video of proper stance. Press the trigger versus pulling the trigger. Sight picture, sight alignment. Not only you get in the book, but you get the ebook. You know, the PowerPoint presentation, you get the ebook, you get everything else. That's why the masterclass is so cool, because it gives you a little bit of everything. When I first did the ebooks, guys, speaking of ebooks, real quick, guys, if you want one of our ebooks, down below in the description, there is our ebooks. I want to give you one of them for free. All you have to do is put free book at checkout, and it's yours for free. Now, they're in the description below. What are they about? They're about grip and stance and trigger control and sight picture and sight alignment. And what I did is I wanted to take that topic, because I normally put all together in one book, but I wanted to lay out trigger to the most simplest effect. I wanted to lay out sight picture and sight alignment to the most simplest effect. So there's 36 pages of just trigger. There's, 44 pages of why I shoot low and left. That was my first book. Why I shoot low and left. Very popular. It just explains the phenomena and it educates you on what you're doing wrong. And that's what I wanted to do. So this is my first endeavor giving back to the community, giving them these ebooks. Well, obviously, I won't say give. I give one away. And obviously, I'm trying to make some money on the YouTube. But unfortunately, the ads only pay so much. So what I'm trying to do is lay out the community, give them something worth value. And if I give you something worth value, when I put something up for sale or anything else like that, it's for you guys. I'm doing it for you and me, obviously. But what we did was we put those ebooks out and we kept them at a low cost. My retail cost on my ebooks are $3.99. Well, I've already take $1 off from that already. So you get an ebook for only $2.99. So you get one for free, and the rest of them are only $2.99. And we request if you want to get a few more and add them to the cart, it's not going to hurt my feelings at all. And they really help you understand the minute little things that you have to do to be proficient with a pistol. So this evening, what we've done is we've taken a bunch of the videos that we've done in the past, and we've taken these videos with the targets, and we're going to show you a bunch of targets tonight that are available for you, that you can go right to our YouTube channel and watch a full-length video of each one of these targets. And most of them are in the master class playlist, but you'll be able to find them right on our YouTube channel, because I have two playlists. I have the masterclass playlist, and I have drills you must know. And both of these are going to have these targets, and each one of those videos has a clickable link to get the target. So let's go ahead and show you this PowerPoint presentation. All right, 10 handgun drills you must know. Train with a purpose, shoot with confidence. From me. Intro. If you want to get better with handgun, it's not about shooting more rounds. It's about shooting the right drill the right way. These 10 drills will sharpen your accuracy, your speed, your control, and your defensive confidence. Pretty much we discussed multiple times about who are you, what are you doing at the range? Are you a bullseye shooter? Do you stand on the line, put your one hand behind your back, point your .22 pistol out there one-handed, and try to shoot bullseyes? Are you a defensive shooter? So most of the drills that we put together are giving you 80-20 split. The 80% of your training should be defensive shooting, and 20% of your training should be bullseyes. And there's a big difference between the speed and accuracy of a bullseye shooter versus a regular shooter. So drill number 1 is the modified base drill. This is the 6 o'clock drill. In the beginning of the master class, we give the students this circle drill without the box. This is called the circle drill is called the base drill. This is the modified base drill. And this is a 50 round, 2 targets, 25 apiece. And it's just going to show you where you are. And what we've done is try to explain to you guys how your sighting system works on your pistol. Most people take the pistol and put it directly in the center of the crosshair of the target. Well, this drill explains that we want to be just a slight bit lower than center, because if I took my barrel and I stuck it directly in the center of this target, my sights would be above the box. We want to be more in the box, which will allow our sights to be right just a little lower than the crosshairs. And this is the drill we talk about that gets us to understand the 6 o'clock hold, because we don't want to aim in the center of the target, because if we aim the barrel assembly in the middle of the target, our sight system's already going to shoot high. So this is a great drill to help you understand the path of the bullet. You have the path of your bore, and you have your eye line. And sooner or later, they cross each other. That bullet does not come out of that barrel in a straight line. It comes out in a little bit of an angle, because when your sights are proper, the front of that pistol's up just a little bit to get the cross over. So this is the very first drill, and it is called the modified base drill. Pretty easy. 25 rounds. That's 50 rounds. There's no time limit. This drill is one box of ammo. That's one thing this evening, guys. When you hear about these drills, we're not worried about shooting 200 rounds. Most all of my training classes or anything else we do here, we're always working on low round count drills. You're going to shoot 5 rounds at a time. Your target on this target is that box. We need to make sure all of our rounds aim or hit that box the best we can. Start at a conquering distance. No matter what drill I show you tonight, guys, if you think you can conquer, you don't need to shoot at 3 yards because you think you're going to win that already. Go ahead and extend your distance already. But if you don't think or you don't know, always start at 3 yards, and you'll adjust for skill level at that point in time. Go ahead, count your targets, count your box hits, and each box hit's worth 1 point. And if you really run this drill 25 times, you should have 25 hits on it. If you do it 20 times, 4 target, a lot of times we do 20 20s, then we have 10s for your dry fire, live fire. I don't know if you heard about that before, but majority of the time we've already talked about you should get some practice in prior to shooting. So if you dry fire a little bit before you live fire, you're going to have a little bit more breakdown of that trigger, if that makes sense. All right. So number 2 is the line drill. This is a great drill. Let's set this up at 3 yards. You can work this back at any distance, but 3 yards is probably the best. Your job is to hit that gray line or just a little bit above the line. You're going to make sure that you're focusing on trigger press, not trigger pull, because this drill will tell you what you're doing manipulation-wise to the trigger. It's going to give you more. This line drill, now you don't need these targets, guys. You can take a black piece of marker. You can mark a black line, but these gray lines help tremendously. You want to set this target in your horizontal line. That's the line where your gun is through your eyes. You're going to start this at your horizontal line and then run the first line, trying to impact the line itself or just a little above. If you are shooting below the line, then you're doing something manipulating the pistol. Whether you are pulling it very hard, or you've got your front post a little low, or you're using your wrist to aim the gun versus your waist to aim the gun, the line drill will explain an awful lot. It will diagnose your low and lefts. It'll diagnose your rights and lefts if you're a left-handed shooter. It will diagnose an awful lot. That's what you should be identifying when you're engaging a trigger, guys. What am I doing? What's causing this to shoot low and left? What's causing me to shoot high and right? What's causing me to do this stuff? And it's mostly through the grip. Grip and trigger are the 2 things that cause most of the manipulation of a firearm. So this is another great drill, the line drill. All right. This is one-shot drill. You shoot 5 rounds at a time. You start it low and ready. Now, if you can get to a place where you can get a holster, you can try a holster draw. But this is more about, when we talked about I am a defensive shooter, I am a bullseye shooter. This would be more for accuracy than anything else. Your job is to impact the X with 1 bullet. And then you're going to put this target up at a conquering distance. And why is this important? Because most of the time, if you really think about it, your first shot out of that pistol is the most important in a self-defense situation. So now this is going to help us understand when we're got one shot. We're going to put that out in front of us. We're going to make sure the weapon's over our abdomini. We're looking through the weapon the best we can, and we cut the shot. These X's are very small, guys. So, impacting that X becomes a challenge for us a little bit. But if we engage the trigger properly, we'll be able to see what manipulation happens. This is it's a challenging drill. It gives you some time at the range to understand. Now, if you pass this all, you've got them all, then you put a new one up and extend the distance. The whole idea of this is to get to a point where you understand where you're failing, and you need to practice more at that distance. I have that issue at past 21 and over. I tend to get a little more. I think it's because of my glass. We'll blame the glasses. We'll blame a lot of different stuff. I'm not a young pup anymore, so keeping your hands from not shaking, really driving and pressing that trigger, keeping it clean is a good drill. It definitely will show what manipulation is happening. This is a great drill. So the fourth drill is called the 2-3 drill. This was a video we did a couple weeks ago. This is 2 rounds at 3 yards, 2 up top and 3 at the bottom, 5 rounds. This allows you to transition up and down, basically. It's sort of like a Mozambique, 2 at the top, 3 at the bottom. The Mozambiques are 2 and 1, but that's kind of this gives us the ability to transition right or left and up and down with the target. This helps us focus on trigger control. This helps us focus on keeping the weapon level, keeping good grip. Conceptually, you're doing 5 shots at a time. You can do 3 at the bottom, 2 up top if you want to move it just a little bit. But this is an overall thing. You do 20 shots on this, 2 up top, 1 at bottom, 3 at bottom, 2 up top, 3 at bottom. Once you're done the right side, do the left side. You'll find most of the time, guys, if you're right-handed, your right-handed targets are going to be cleaner than your left-handed targets. But ideally, great drill for you. By the way, these drills are available, guys. If you want them, they are available through our YouTube channel underneath the factor of the masterclass, the Master Your Handgun playlist. If you can't seem to find it, guys, you can always request the drills. Pick a couple or 2 or 3 you like. You can send me an email or a comment through our YouTube channel, and I'll get you what you need as far as the stuff. Number 5 is control pair drill. This is not double tapping. This is giving you the ability to shoot 2 well-aimed shots with a reset in between. This is going to give us the ability to understand. We're going to focus on sight recovery and control. We're going to shoot this thing fast, but fast and accurate is the key thing. Another one of these things where we're going up in size of target to keep them but accurate. So 3x5 is not a big target, but it's not a small target, especially at 3 yards. This is not a double tap. Double tap is just bang, bang. This is bang, and then maybe let the weapon go to reset and bang the other shot. It's about accuracy under speed. The more you spend behind the pistol, the more accurate you want to start becoming. And it's these simple drills like this that makes us more accurate because we're focusing on one part of the pass this drill. And then what you do is you take a picture of this and you do the drill the following week and see if you do it better. You can always add timers into this, guys, or you can mix stuff up. So these are great stress drills, if that makes sense. This is a defensive accuracy drill. This is a great drill because we got 4 different size targets and they're multiplying in size as we go. So you're going to put this out of the conquering distance again, being that number 1 up top there in the defensive accuracy is the smallest target on there. That's a 1-inch circle. You're going to have to really take your time to conquer this. And as you go to 2, it's double the size of 1. So you can go just a little bit faster. And then if you look, 3 is just double the size of 4. So you can do that. And 4 is your biggest target, which in turn you should be able to go as fast as you can with that and still keep them in. Now, keep in mind, guys, you're counting your hits, and you want to make sure that they're all in the blue targets and not any of the white. If they're in the white of the target, then you didn't pass the drill. Now, if you cut the line of the circle, we give that to you. We take that. That's close. That's close as it can be. But you really need to really work this, especially that small little dot there up top there, because that becomes so much of a challenge for most people to shoot that 1-inch circle with iron sights or red dot and be consistent. Because you've got the recoil management we have to work on. If you notice, most of these drills are all working on a speed versus accuracy test here each time. Speed versus accuracy. Because we know in this drill, for instance, I know I got to go and be very confident, very controlling on number 1. But I know on number 4, I can run the gun a little faster because I have the confidence to know that if I'm aiming it for, I'm most likely going to do pretty well. So I personally myself you can run this forward or backwards. Go 4 really fast, 3 a little slower, 2 a little slower, and 1 the slowest we can be. You can do that a couple different ways. That's a great little test for you. All right, this is called the command drill, and it's a verbal thing. You may have a partner with you or anything else like that, and you can get this set up. We had a couple of students that we gave this to last week. The beta group got this. The beta group was a group from the very beginning of the master class, and we had a group of, I don't know, 4 or 5 that stayed on with us to extend their training. And we gave them this drill from the work on. You're only allowed to fire at what you're told to fire at. So it gives you just you're standing at the line at low and ready, or weapon out in front of you, and the command is called A. You have to hit A, and then command B, and then 2 and 1. But the things we can mix it up a little bit. You can go A3. And you have 5 rounds in your magazine. You have to put 3 shots at A. Now you only have 2 shots left. The commander can call B1 or just B. You have to shoot 1 round, and then obviously 1 or 2, and that's the 5 shots for that training. Whole idea about the caller is to try to get you to miss, and your job is to be as accurate as possible, focusing on the command, hearing the command, and figuring the targets. You want to mess it up a little bit more, you can call out not only the numbers, but you can call out the shape of it as well, just for the person that's got the gun in his hand to have to make a in-mind decision before engaging the trigger. just adds a little more stress involved in it. You're just not working on accuracy. You're working on discipline as well. You're being told what to shoot and how many to shoot. It's kind of a fun little thing, and it does add a little stress to you. Oh, boy, sensitive thing today, I'll tell you that. All right, got a mouse here. I'm back. I apologize. I apologize. You still here? Everyone's still. Someone give me a comment real quick. I apologize about that. Get back to that. All right, 1 second. Command drills where we were. All right. The next one is called the box drill. The box drill itself is a great drill because what it does, it gives you the opportunity to work at different distances. The different distances helps us understand more control of the weapon. 3 yards, you're going to shoot 3 rounds there, 5 rounds there, and then at 5, and then at 7. These are the yardages. The idea of this is to try to keep the group as tight as possible. How do we keep a group tight? Is we focus on the front post. We focus on getting our core tight. We get proper grip. We get proper stance, and we trust our sight system to cut the shots evenly so it doesn't cause us too much manipulation. What I mean by that is, you've been to the range before. We all have done it, where we get 2 shots that are right on top of each other. Then we got a high, low, and a left. That's losing concentration or losing control of the weapon. That's why it's so important for us to keep 5 rounds in the magazine at a time, because most people can control 5 rounds pretty easily. It's when we get past 5 rounds is when we get a little more sloppy with the control of the weapon. And controlling the firearm is the key to being more accurate with a pistol. With a 3-yard target, look how small it is compared to the 7, which is a 3x5 card. You can tell that you have ability to have a little more play with the weapon and still impact your target compared to that 1-inch circle in the last drill we looked at, where you really got to be super confident and really control that trigger to stay accurate with a pistol. This is a nice one too. Number 9 is called the transition drill, and basically what it is you're going to do A, B, and then B, A, and you're transitioning right or left and right. And this is something that you have 4 targets. You're going to do 2 shots. You can do 5. There's multiple ways you can do this. We've done it with 5 rounds. We've done it with 4 rounds. You put 2 in A and 2 in B. That's a way to do it. You can do 2 shots, 1 shot, 2 shots. That's 5 shots. However you want to play it out doesn't really matter to me. What you have to figure out mostly is the proper transition. The proper transition is not to move our arms. The proper transition is not to move our wrist to aim the gun. The proper transition is to move our waist to aim the pistol, and using the tip of our finger to engage the trigger and keep that weapon level through the shot. Don't look over the pistol to see if I impacted properly, and stay on top of it. You need to focus on the target while you're transitioning. When you transition, you need to stop your move before you engage the trigger. On an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, you don't got too much movement you're doing. I try to put these drills together for ranges that are indoors. But if you're an outdoor range and you're allowed to shoot outdoors, you can actually take the transitioning to 1.5 feet, 2 foot, 3 foot, whatever they allow, and you're going to still have to transition with your waist. And think about that pole on your hips and bend on that pole instead of using your wrist to aim the weapon. It really keeps that weapon level. And with a level weapon being level, it's going to shoot level and make it a lot easier for you. Now, guys, if you're making comments when you do the PowerPoint presentation, I cannot see them, but I will come back to those questions. Just ask as much as you want there, and we'll stay until we'll finish them up. But obviously, we do a full screen PowerPoint like this, I can't see the questions, but I will answer them here in a little bit, or the comments, I should say. Excuse me. All right, this is the multi-target drill, and this is a fun one. This is a challenging one because it gives you a lot of different circles there and squares and things like that. But it does work on. Uh-oh, Miss Johnson's getting me. Okay. 1 second, guys. Miss Johnson's my wife contacted me. All right. So this is called Practice with a Purpose. There's a video on this a while back. I wanted to put these targets together just to give you a little more confusion. You have 9 1-inch circles up here, 1-inch squares. Obviously, you want to do that at a distance you can conquer. So you get 1 shot per box. And then from there, maybe you don't know, but in your training kit, we always talk about having some stuff in your bag, 3x5 cards, paper plates, these targets, a black magic marker, maybe 2 or 3 magic markers that are different colors. Because when you put this target up and you're aiming at these boxes, you're going to shoot 5 shots. You want to mark those 5 shots, and then you can mark one of the white areas on the target and say your first 5 shots were red, for instance. One of our students, Stan and Larry, they always come with 4 different color markers. Now you come here to the range, I got color markers back there for you. Just part of the stuff we do here. We have paper plates, we have 3x5 cards, we have all kinds of stuff. But it kind of helps you identify what you're doing wrong. So if I were to shoot the top 3 up there and every one of them was low and left, I kind of know when I'm manipulating something, the gun's over my nose, it's not over my dominant arm. Maybe I'm jerking the trigger, maybe I'm not doing something right. But that helps us truly identify when you can mark them. You'd all been to the range and have this target with all these damn holes in it. How the hell you know what you're shooting at? You know, paper is not that expensive, guys. That black magic marker that's in your bag, you can make a new target by just making a circle around a white area on the paper. You know, the concept is not to touch the bullets together. We want to be confident enough if I aim the pistol at the spot, it's going to impact the spot or just a little bit around where the spot is. Be honest with yourself. When you take the weapon out, put a white piece of paper up, take the target, flip it upside down, put it out in front of you, visualize where your sights are, and cut the shot. If you do no manipulation at all, the bullet should be right where you're aiming or just a little low. If it's way low, then you know you've done something wrong or some manipulation. This is a great tell. You know the poker players, they always talk about people have, straight face. They don't do anything, they wear glasses, but some people can't play poker because they don't have a great poker face. Well, when you put that white piece of paper up, I challenge you this week, go to the range and do this. Put that white piece, take that target, flip it upside down. Backwards, for it's white showing to your face. Put the target out at 3 yards. 3 yards or better. Put your hands out in front of you. Get the gun in your line of sight. Get the target where it needs to be. And cut the shot. Now you were aiming at a white spot on a white piece of paper, and that's your target. Did you impact where you were aiming? If you didn't, you're doing something with the pistol. You're doing some manipulation. You have the gun below your eye line, looking over the pistol, not through the pistol. You get too much finger in the gun. You're healing the back of it. You're thumbing the back of it. There's so many different things you can do wrong with a pistol. There's more things to do wrong with a pistol than there is doing right with a pistol. Bad, you shooting bad is common. You shooting high and right because you always shoot low and left is not the way you want to fix it. You want to identify the problem and fix it by looking at what's going on. There's only a couple things that we're going to look at. We're going to look at your grip. We're going to look at your stance. We're going to look at your trigger pull or trigger press. And we're going to look at your sight alignment and sight picture. Those 4 things you can conquer, guys. And how do you conquer that? By signing up for the masterclass. Because the education I give you in those 5 weeks, you'll never shoot bad again. You'll improve your accuracy 100%. No student has taken this class and goes, I didn't learn anything in this thing. They all said, I had all those aha moments. When's the last time you went to the range and had an aha moment? You know what an aha moment is? That's when you make that decision that this thing made sense to me today. A light bulb went off. I take that back to when I was a young man and Johnny and Jacob were soccer players. They weren't soccer players. They were lollipop kids. They were just running around the field. And I ended up getting talked into coaching. Will you coach Johnny's team? I said, I don't know nothing about soccer, lady. She goes, but we don't have a coach for that team. And all you got to do is keep them all together, keep them out of the nets, and bring oranges once a week. So I talked to my wife. I said, can we do this? My wife is athletic, and Miss Johnson was always a sport girl. And she said, yeah, we could do it. So it took Johnny and Jacob, and I was a soccer coach. I had a whistle. They gave me a whistle, gave me a shirt that said coach on it. Beyond that, I didn't know anything. So I went to YouTube and looked up a bunch of stuff, and I got some cones out. And these are 7 and 6, and I think Jacob was probably 5. These are lollipops, so they're the youngest team you can have, right? But each one of those kids had a lollipop, had a light bulb moment. We had this little Spanish kid on our team who was the little brother of like 7 soccer phenoms on the field, and he could kick this ball from anywhere in the field and hit it in the net. Well, during this small group, guys, they don't have goalies. So once that kid scored and everyone went crazy, all the other kids went, oh, is that what we're supposed to be doing? Like the coach didn't tell us that. So all of a sudden now every kid is scoring. They're all kicking it in the net. And it was just one of those things where this kid scored and the rest of the team figured out, hey, when he did that, the people went crazy. So now I'm going to do it. And bang, bang, bang. This one team, the kids were doing nothing. I think we got up like 22 points on them. And it set all the kids and get all the other kids off their bench. It was just crazy. It was just fun. So the aha moment is a big deal.
And when you're able to identify what you're doing wrong, it changes your whole accuracy of a firearm. It changes your ability to understand what you're doing. So when you go to the range, you can have some fun. You can start understanding what's causing it. So this drill here is set up for 3 different distances, 3, 5, and 7. We kind of play that 3, 5, and 7 all the time. But you have the 1 inch, you have the 1.5 inch, and you have the 3.5 inch circle. And obviously, the further it out, the bigger the circle, bigger the target you want to be. And the shorter it is, the closer it is you want to be. And work on this, and you're practicing with a purpose. Again, all these drills this evening were all about a little bit of accuracy, a lot about defensive shooting, a little bit of accuracy, a little bit of defensive shooting. When we use our sights, when you're looking through your sights of the weapon, whether you're looking through a red dot, or you're looking through the dot and box system, or you're looking through a Glock that has a box and dot, or you're looking through a Taurus G3 that has a front post blacked out back sights. If you're looking at your sights, then that makes you a bullseye shooter. If you're looking at the back of the firearm, focusing on your target only, and worried more about getting the rounds downrange, impacting the target as close as you can, then you're starting to work on more defensive accuracy. Defensive accuracy is we're not worried about cloverleaf in anything. We're worried about impacting the target in a similar same spot to win. To win what? To win the fight, to win the battle, the first person gets the shot off normally wins. And that's the idea of it. All right. Conclusion. Master these 10 drills and you'll build accuracy you can trust. A lot of people tend to look over their pistol to see where the bullet impact. Are you guilty of that? I can tell you a lot of people are. And the moment you lift your head above the pistol, we call that prairie dogging, you have changed your angle, and now you have to get back on the weapon to cut the next shot, which in turns changes your angle of the weapon, which changes the impact of the bullet. So, do you trust your accuracy? Can you run the weapon speed that you can control? There is speed, there is accuracy, there is speed versus accuracy, and there's speed that you can control. Our job as defensive shooters is to run the gun as fast as we can accurately shoot the pistol. Now, that being said, if you really think about this, every drill is on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. That 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, if you take that and pin it on your chest, is there a place in that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that would not impact a vital spot if you hit it in center mass? And the answer would be no. They would all be stoppers. May not drop them, but it is a stopper. Take one through the middle of your chest. It's going to be a lot more dangerous for you than taking one in your hip or taking one in your big toe. So just kind of keep that in mind. The vital triangle is what we work on, and that vital triangle starts at the shoulders and goes to the groin. Can you be confident under pressure? This is the things that we need to think about. We have our concealed. We have our weapon. We have our holster. Have you had enough time to practice drawing from your holster, shooting around cover, magazine changes, multiple targets, shooting and moving? Remember, you can't go flip your phone open to YouTube and figure, how am I going to win this? You just got to be able to do it. And really, in a high defense situation, when you have a high adrenaline dump, can you imagine what's going to happen? Your body is going to shut off anything it deems unnecessary, and it's only going to allow you to focus on a couple things. So you've heard people talk about it. I did not hear the shots. I did not see my sights. I did not focus. I was just looking at the bad person. These things happen to people. When you watch it on TV, it looks cool and neat, but in real life form, if you ever shot a pistol in a confined area with no earmuffs on, you got a real problem in your hands to begin with, and that starts it all. And when you're in a high drill and dump, everything we do with a pistol, guys, everything we do with a pistol has to be put into a muscle memory factor. We should not have to think about it. We should not have to look up YouTube. The weapon should be loaded. It should be ready to go. It should be, you need to be on target and be productive with your firearm. Remember, you have your concealed, but you are responsible for your bullet until it hits the ground. And understanding all of these little minute things, because you're responsible for what the bullet does, whether it hurts, maims, kills, or paralyzed. You're criminally, morally, and civilly responsible for it. If it hurts somebody else, you shouldn't be, because you got into a defensive fog, basically, and just shit hit the fan so fast you didn't know what to do. So what I want you to try to do this week is pick a couple of these drills, shoot them, make a comment or two next week, and let us know how it went from you. Don't forget, every time you go to the range, two things I want you to do. One is I want you to commit to going to the range once a week. I know it's expensive, but with only 50 rounds, and most places right now, you're about $14.99 for 50 rounds of 9mm. And, range time depends on where you are. They have memberships. They don't have memberships. But getting out, shooting 50 rounds, not wasting your time, but finding the right targets, the right bases, the right things to do. We just want to be able to be confident as anything. And number two thing I want you to do is you carry a cell phone with you on a regular basis to the range. Very simple and easy to take pictures of your targets and keep a memory of what you did. Because when you start putting together these little things, you'll start to understand, okay, when I did that, I did this. I did that, I did this. And all of a sudden, accuracy started happening. There's your aha moment. And all of a sudden, bingo, bango, you've got another step towards becoming a better shooter. Becoming a better shooter by mastering your handgun. If you're looking to master your handgun, we actually have the next masterclass starting May 5th at 7 p.m. Comment below if you want to know more about that or get the sign-up link. It is well worth it. What do you get? You get an ebook. You get the course. Not only you get the course, you get a PowerPoint presentation for the 4 weeks, once a week. You get drills, you get homeworks, you get video that correlate to the course book. And when I say grip, when I say stance, when I say trigger control, when I show you the targets, you're going to have a video explaining it too. So not only can you consume it by reading it through the ebook, you can watch it through the PowerPoint and the YouTube and the course, but you can go to the range and shoot it yourself. When the guys that got in the beta group and the guys that got in the last masterclass, with them starting to shoot every week, they became better shooters just by doing it. because 1 week makes an awful difference on your accuracy. Last thing I'll tell you guys, and this is very important, when you come to the range and you fail, failure is a good thing, not a bad thing. Shooting a pistol is not simple, it's complicated. But what I want you to do when you get to that point where you failed, I want you to think about what caused it and solve it. Now, before you leave the range, I don't care if the target's 2 feet away from you. I want you to bring it in and leave with a win. Leave 5 rounds and put the 5 rounds in the magazine, put up a 2-inch circle, whatever you need to do, and finish off 5 strong. So when you leave, you're leaving with confidence, you're leaving with happiness, and you're leaving with a win. When you leave with a win, the next time you come, you could start with a win and then leave with a win. Anytime you're behind the gun, you should be learning and not just riding. That's why the 5 shots are so important, because when most people come to the range, what do? They take their Glock Fit 19, they put 15 rounds in the magazine, and they go in the back and they shoot 15 rounds as quick as they can. And about 4 of those are probably where they need to be. And the rest of them, they're along for the ride. If you learn anything from this tonight, 5 shots at a time will make you a better shooter. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining the Tuesday Night Live. If you found this helpful, share it. Tag a training buddy. Drop your favorite drill in comments. I want you to train smart and stay ready. Guys, we don't ask very often for subscribers because I feel if I am giving you what you want or I'm giving you knowledge, that sooner or later you'll subscribe. But here's the challenge. A lot of times in the gun industry, we get a little bit of black eye. We're the stepchildren because they don't like us doing firearm stuff. They don't mind training as much. But what I'd ask you to do is I want you to look down if you're watching this through your YouTube channel. I want to make sure that you are subscribed, because sometimes some of our subscribers get unsubscribed for some reason. I don't know. I'm not saying it's nefarious that's causing it, but somehow or another people get unsubscribed once in a while. And it's somewhat, we work so hard to get them. And when they get unsubscribed for one reason or other, it just seems hard. It would help us out tremendously. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, the like, and the subscribe button. Every time we upload a video, just like this one, you'll be the next to know. We do this live every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. We are happy you're here, and we're going to go to comments now. So just let me get back to full screen, get out of this full screen, and let's go. Here we go. All right. All right, so we got a gentleman named Pathfinder. I guess best gun for you to recommend for short range, medium range, and long range. Pathfinder, are you talking handgun or are you talking a rifle? There's 2 options really. I would always recommend a compact weapon for carry purposes. Whether you do double stack or single stack, it's all matters of what your hands are. Right now, we sell a lot of the Smith & Wesson equalizers. The Smith & Wesson equalizer is a 15, 13, and 10. I've put it in hands from old as 88-year-old woman to a 13-year-old female, and super accurate, great overall trigger, easy loading magazine, easy rack and weapon. If you have the opportunity to shoot an equalizer, it is probably your best buy right now from Smith & Wesson, because it comes with 3 magazines, a 15, 13, and 10. Not only does it have that, but it's got a loader as well. It's got the Upala. I know I say it wrong, but it's got the Upala loader. Medium and large range. If you're looking to stay with the same caliber, just pick a carbine of any kind that shoots 9mm. If you're looking long distance, probably I would look at the 270. That's a flat shooting weapon. Flat shooting. What do you use 270 for? Well, you could use it for deer hunting, hog hunting. Could take something out to 250 yards or so. If you're looking past 250, then you look at maybe a 308. Reason why I'm mentioning all these calibers, because they're easy to find in most gun ranges. That's the key thing. You get these 6.5 Creedmoors and all this stuff. Not every gun range is going to have it. So it's kind of a unique thing. So 9mm definitely for home defense. You could get a 9mm carbine. You could still feed your family with a 9mm carbine. You could go deer hunt with that, hog hunt with that. It is a 16-inch barrel. Smith & Wesson has a few lines. There's other manufacturers out there. Ruger has a couple of carbines like that. Ideally, I wouldn't get too carried away and bringing in a bunch of different ammo, but 9mm, like in the old cowboy days, what he wore in his belt went in his revolver and went into his lever action rifle. That's the way we need to think about it as well, and stock as much of that as possible. Thank you, Pathfinder. Hopefully I answer your question. All right. Bomber. Oh, yeah, here we go. My Toledo guy. I think I talked to you before, Rob. Toledo, Ohio. There we go. It's a nice day, so I'll probably watch later. Thanks for your time. Make this video important. I want the class. If you want the class, but I want my CCW for Ohio in the class. Well, Rob, I can tell you this. You want your Florida CCW. That's probably a good start too. Anybody on here from anywhere in Florida or out of Florida, Florida allows a non-resident to have their Florida concealed. Check out our video on our YouTube channel. Just go ahead and put in non-resident CCW. It's pretty simple and easy. We offer a training class for that. Basically, you watch the video, you go to your local range, you shoot my target. From shooting my target, you send me an email of the target. I send you your completion paperwork, and you send it off to Tallahassee once you get your fingerprints done and your passport photo done. In about 4 to 6 weeks, you have my cost of $74.99. You have the state of Florida's cost of $97, and you have your Florida concealed for 7 years. What's the Florida concealed give a non-resident? Well, it gives you the ability to carry in 30 states. So Florida has this has a reciprocity agreement. A Florida resident gets 36. A non-resident will get 30. And Florida allows non-residents to get their permit. I've done a couple videos on that. If you go back to YouTube, check out some of these lives. There's one on the live for the whole how to sign up, the whole thing like that. Great seeing you, Rob. My wife's from a little town called Montpelier, Ohio, which is right around the corner from you. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here we go. I got all your ebooks. Find them great resources. The Get a Grip was extremely valuable. Now I have a great grip on the pistol. Yes, you do, buddy. Thank you very much, sir. You know what? I'm not much a revolver guy, but I probably should do one for a revolver. I probably could do one for a revolver. What I should do is I'm going to probably pull out 3 or 4 different revolvers and do a couple different things. I probably could do a ebook on revolver grip. That's probably one of those things that we could help, but um, I don't know if I'd have, it may be more pictory than would be readability, if that makes sense, because of how the grip is on a revolver. But I have done a couple videos on revolvers and why they're important for your portfolio. I think everyone should have a revolver or two in their portfolio. Number one, they're just cool. They give you the ability to have something. If you got a 4-inch Taurus or a 4-inch Smith and Wesson, it doesn't matter what you spend, but they're 4-inch 357, for instance. You could shoot 38s or 357, and then just a pocket revolver like a Smith and Wesson 642 or a Taurus 835 or one of the ones that it doesn't matter what manufacturer, but I could tell you that the lighter the revolver, the easier it is to carry. But they do have a little bit of a problem of being uh, a little, they're a little challenging because they're limited round counts, right? Limited round counts. So there's an advantage if you wear a jacket, which in Florida, we don't wear jackets very often, but if you're in another state where revolver, you got to wear a coat once in a while, it is a little more bulky, but you could pocket carry a revolver in one of your coat pockets. And keep in mind, where a semi-automatic has a great disadvantage of being in a pocket, you can only fire it once because that slide has to go back and forth to get the other round out of it. Where when you have a revolver, you could shoot 5 shots out of that revolver, out of your coat pocket. You won't like your coat after that, but definitely would be able to get him off you. All right. Danny, what's happening, buddy? Danny Schultz. He's a member here. He's one of our maintenance guys. He comes and cleans up, and he's a great dude. Great dude. Thank you, Danny. Glad you're here, buddy. Thank you for watching. All right. Now we have good evening from New Jersey. There we go. Hello there, Kurt Richards. Thank you very much for watching this evening. We appreciate you. Yeah, you know what? I could tell you that most ranges don't allow rapid. This is Kurt Richards again talking about most ranges don't allow rapid fire. How can you shoot and develop the bill drill type skills? Well, I can tell you there's a good way of doing it. It's going to cost you a little bit of money, but you can go and find yourself a blowback airsoft that's exactly like your pistol. They make them in all kinds of stuff. And you can get your same holster that you have. Matter of fact, you pick the same gun, and you can do a lot of that stuff in your garage. Those blowbacks act just like a pistol, and it'll let you do those, draw from the holster 6-shot as fast as you can kind of deal and be able to work it. The airsoft doesn't give you all the recoil, but it actually blows back the weapon. I did plenty of time. I did plenty of time prior to having the gun store. Well, I had a small little training studio that we did concealed carry every Wednesday night, and we had some 1911 blowbacks, some Glock blowbacks, and we put people through just a little bit of training drills. It was fun. It was, it's not shooting a pistol, obviously, but it does give you the ability. If you have the ability to get to a range that has some training classes, that's probably the best way to learn how to do it. But if you don't, you can always get some kind of dry firing pistol. I think the blowback's a lot cheaper than buying a real laser training tool like we have here. Or you can get, I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they're called dry fire magazines. And those dry fire magazines allows the trigger to reset and engage. Now those dry fire magazines, they're on Amazon. They're probably 125 to 150. They go into your mag well, and when you engage the trigger, it kind of resets the trigger and makes it that you can engage the trigger again and again and again. Where I see problems with doing any kind of dry fire, and I recommend dry fire all the time. I want you to dry fire. Matter of fact, if you're listening here, you got 8 people on here. Commit to doing 20 dry fires a day. If you commit to doing 20 dry fires a day, that's 100. I'm not asking for 7 days. For 5 days, you'll get 100 dry fires. That will make you more accurate. I'm a true believer in dry firing. Now, what I can tell you is if you're a golfer and you go to the range and you're going to the course, if you show up 20 minutes early or 30 minutes early or 40 minutes early and shoot a bucket of balls first and get over to the putting green and run a couple chip shots and a couple putts, you're going to golf a lot better than just getting there in a hurry, grabbing your bag, and going to the first tee. So what I'd recommend is when you're at the range, stick to a routine where you get yourself one of the targets today. It doesn't matter which one, maybe that modified base drill, and work on 5 live and 5 dead. We put 5 dry fires down, and then we load 5 rounds in and impact the box. If you do that a couple times, maybe just 10 rounds, that's going to give you 20 trigger pulls. Think about this. We do 5 dry fires. That's 5 trigger pulls. We do 5 live fires. That's 10 trigger pulls. Then we do it one more time. Then start your training for the day. That's going to make you a better shooter than any other tool you can find, Kurt. It doesn't matter what it is. So that dry fire is imperative. So even if you have to dry fire from the home and press through the triggers a little differently, it's still going to get you more training, because the greatest thing ever is everything you put underneath your belt as a trainee. The bad guys don't get to train. We don't have Wednesday night bad guy night and they come and practice. They don't practice. They don't practice. That's why they turn the gun sideways when they shoot it. They're not using the sights. They're trying to get lucky. You're going to be accurate with the pistols. The more time you spend behind the gun, the more accurate you can become, and the more chances you'll have than the average bad guy. Well, guys, that's this evening's class. That's this evening's live. I am. We've got a little long in the tooth here today. We got an hour and 20 minutes. I apologize about that. I got a little carried away. I love the whole point of doing this each week. I love being able to touch and be able to talk to you guys. If you have anything that you have issues with or anything, you can always contact us through our YouTube channel. If you don't know what that is, John the Firearms Instructor. We are just getting to a point of almost 40,000 subscribers. Let me give you the count this week. I'm not bragging. I'm just kind of happy about it. All right. So as of today, we have 38,915. Last 28 days, we had 159,000 views. We had 5,000 watch hours. We got 1,000 subscribers in that short period of time. So if you have an opportunity to hit our channel and subscribe, we would appreciate it very much. Let me show you the end of the thing here. Get this off here. Go back. I should have done a while ago. Apologize about that, guys. All right. All right. Well, that's the evening tonight. It is Tuesday night. We'll see you next Monday, God willing. If you have a topic or something you want us to put through, go ahead and let us know that as well. God bless. Be safe. And remember, you are your first line defense. I love you very much, guys. Thank you for your loyal support. Good night. Bye-bye.